So the next one we're getting into is the moon baller. We've all seen them before. The person just seems like they're always throwing lobs or really high balls. Again, their goal is to get you to stretch your arms, get above your contact point. The thing is, you can kind of treat this response similar to how you treat the junk baller on some of their shots, but the difference between a junk baller and a moon baller is you actually have the ability to kind of predict what's happening more with a moon baller. The junk baller gives you everything. The moon baller has a very specific play style that they're trying to stick to. And that actually gives you an advantage because then your playbook becomes a little more narrowed down and you know exactly what to do. So just like before, I'm gonna be the moon baller just so I can show you guys what to look for in that play style. Then I'll flip it, Emily will be the moon baller, and I'll show you how to deal with it. So when you're playing against a moon baller, what you can expect is just a lot of backing up, getting the ball back in, and them just giving you that ball, trying to get you above your shoulders. Now notice I'm not hitting lobs per se, I'm just hitting balls that give me time and make her feel like she has to back away. Now there's nothing wrong with hitting a ball way up there, but if you notice, it looks like one of us is doing a lot more work than the other. And any type of pressure that you create, very nice try, any type of pressure that the offensive player creates is usually negated almost immediately. So they attack, and I get that time right back. She attacks or tries to, and I get that time right back. Yep, super hard, slow her down. Super hard, slow her down. And eventually, you learn to just expect that error because she just gets tired of attacking over and over and over again for her to feel like she's not really getting anywhere. So that's the frustration that I know you guys have all felt at some point. Now I'm going to show you how to deal with it. So for this responding exercise, Emily's going to be moonballing. I don't have her in frame because I need you guys to see how I'm dealing with the ball. Then I'm going to show you guys how to deal with the person. So first job, similar to the first one, you gotta hold your ground. Most times. There's a little trick to giving up ground at the right time, but for most part, you want to be within 2 or 3 feet of the baseline and just get comfortable keeping balls at your shoulder. You're going to need that for when you change the tactic. So I'm going to stand right here, just watch the rally, watch where my positioning stays. Ready? So Emily's moonballing. Yep. And even if you have to take it above your shoulder every now and then, your job is just to get used to your body weight moving into the court. The benefit of this play style is that it's predictable. She can try and throw the ball up, but I don't have to let it push me back. And if I'm staying in the camera frame, that means, that's really good. If I'm staying in the camera frame, that means that I'm in a position to take advantage of when she doesn't hit the best one. But as of right now, most of the time I've been on baseline because she is actually keeping me back. Very nice. Perfect. So now combining that court position, I'm going to show you guys what to do to deal with the moonballer. Again, as I said, you have an advantage when you know this is the way the person likes to play. The deceptive tactic you have to use is let them push you around a little bit. There's a reason for that. You back off every now and then, still try to keep your weight moving into the shot, but after a while, they start to expect that this shot is good enough. And then you shift gears quickly. Now what I noticed in that one is Emily's body position. My moonball back kind of put her in a state of being comfortable. That's what you need to really make the person feel. They're pushing you back up a little bit. They don't feel like they're in danger. So since they don't feel like they're in danger, you don't put extra unnecessary pressure or stress on yourself, and they don't do the same. They're waiting for you to miss. And since she's waiting for me to miss, why pressure it more? The miss is going to come eventually in her head. And all I'm waiting for is one ball. And now, I got my time pressure back. The most important thing when you play the moonballer is you have to finish when you change the pace. You have to make sure that your rhythm of high and low is very clear. You've been up here, you bring it down, point it in within 1 or 2 shots maximum. Because if you let them throw the ball up again, then you've reset and you've wasted all those attacks. Quick side note on this one before we move into the next one. Shots to practice in order to be good at this one, you need to be comfortable holding the baseline, taking the ball on the rise. You need to be comfortable taking a couple volleys and swinging volleys out of the air. Otherwise, it becomes very difficult to get out of this position. But the goal is always to get the person lulled into a false sense of comfort, that there's no pressure on them, and then take the pressure and add it all at once and try to be done with it as quick as possible. What usually ends up happening is either A, they'll stop pushing, or B, they'll start to have balls creep in that make mistakes with them because they're trying to pressure you more. And as we all know, whenever we add too much pressure and we become uncomfortable, the unforced errors creep in on our side as well. So let's get right into part number 3. So with part 3 of the pushers, we're talking about the neutralizer. The neutralizer, in my opinion, is actually one of the most skilled pushers. And you can see examples of this all the way up to the pro level. Andy Murray is a skilled pusher. Medvedev, skilled pusher. We've seen videos of them just breaking people down with consistency. They're not doing anything incredibly aggressive or defensive in most cases, but the way they play, it kind of lulls the person into a need of feeling like they have to do more, and eventually the unforced errors creep in. Now, at the pro level, obviously they have the ability to do other things, but what they've decided is this is the best way that fits for them. So for this one, just like the other ones, I'm going to be the neutralizer, then I'm going to show you guys how to deal with the neutralizer. So I'm going to have Emily actually be more aggressive this time. Reason being, I want you to see the changes in the pace. Here we go. So she hits it hard, and I just bring it back to that rhythm. Here you go. So no matter what shot she hits, my ball's pretty much coming back at that same rhythm. Nice ball. But again, a whole match of this, then the unforced errors start to creep in. They attack, roll. How much longer do you want to play like this?
Not long at all.
So how do you beat the neutralizer? That's the toughest, in my opinion, person to play. Now, what you need to do with the neutralizer, similar to when you play against the moonballer, you do get the advantage of understanding the rhythm that the person's playing in. You have to pick which pressure to add. My opinion, time pressure is key because your timing has already been set. With the junk baller, there's no rhythm to break because the ball's high and then low and then slow and fast. But with the neutralizer, your best bet is similar to the moonballer. You let them feel like their rhythm is working, because in most cases, you get to get grooved in playing against this person provided you're comfortable moving around. And then you break the rhythm at the right time. Best way to beat the neutralizer though is in a 2-shot combination of opening the court, as you saw when Emily hit that backhand winner on me, but then capitalizing on the ball that there's no way they can hit the same way. So you open up the court by taking up court space and opening up angles, and then you quickly fill the angle by moving closer and capitalizing. So angle, step in, open court on a volley, angle, step in, take this next short ball on the rise, but something where that neutralizing factor can't happen fast enough for the person to get out of their bad position. So now, Emily's going to be the neutralizer, and I am going to be the person who opens up the court. There we go. So I hit the ball the same way she hits the ball. That way we settle into this rhythm. I'm allowing her to pretty much control the tempo of the point. And then right here, that would be my play. Now, again, scale it to your own level. Most people may not be comfortable stepping up here, taking a ball out of the air or right off the bounce as an angle. But that doesn't mean you don't have the angle available in some way. Emily, can you just give me a high ball over here really quick? What you could also do, if you see it coming, open up the angle like that. Depending on who you're playing and how fast or slow these balls are, your option of how to open it up is open to interpretation. But you need to find a way to get this person into a position where they need time the same way you do. So she's hitting the same ball. There's my opening. Nothing fancy. Good. Now, again, I have good hands as a former professional and college player, but the skill set is still relative. She can hit the ball wherever she wants. She can keep the pace the same. She's just keeping the ball on the court. And eventually, that's all I need. Just something that opens it up. That time I went down the line, but because I went down the line and she was kind of leaning that way, if she gets it back, her neutral pace is easy to handle. Neutralizers usually don't attack when they're pressured. They try to get back to the same rhythm. So she's not going to run and smack a passing shot on me. She's going to run and try to get the pace back to where she's most comfortable. And as a result, I know what to expect in terms of speed and location, and that opens me up to be able to finish points consistently. Most people, the biggest mistake they make is doing the first part and feeling like they have to do even more on the second one because they don't want to get back into that position of maybe being passed. They don't want to get back into that position of having to rally all over again. So they try to do way too much on their own, and then they end up in trouble. Just put the two-shot combination where it needs to go. Open up the court, fill the opening. Don't go back behind them and take the risk. Just open up the court, fill the opening. Okay guys, that wraps up this video of how to deal with pushers. I'm probably going to add in some other things in another video coming up soon, but this is a great foundation on how to start practicing with them. Remember, you have 3 types of pushers. You have the moon baller, you have the neutralizer, and then you have the junk baller. And what you do as a counter measure is going to depend on which one you're dealing with. All pushers are not the same. Same way all baseliners are not the same. Same way all volleyers and net rushers are not the same. You have to figure out what specific play style you're dealing with and then apply the appropriate countermeasure for them. So once you know which one they are, we've already laid out some of the basic ways to start working your counter plan. I'm going to add in other ones later, but go out and practice these. Remember, court position, opening up angles, timing, breaking rhythm. There's a bunch of different ways depending on who you're playing. But that wraps this up, and we will see you guys in the next one.